Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my theory tuition series where we're working together through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download these in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day when you're actually sitting in the exam room working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the paper S of the 2018 Grade 3 practice papers. So if you turn with me to page 17, we can continue working through this. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and now we're going to just check these through together. So a little bit of simple note reading here. However, it might just cause a few little moments of consideration because we're going to have some ledger line work going on here. So we're jumping between treble and bass clef. And so let's just press on. So now this is really low, so what you can either do is work from a position that you're familiar with. So we know that this is a G on the bottom line, good boys deserve, so we can count backwards: G, F, E, D, C, B, flat of course. Or alternative, we can count up an octave, counting this as 1, 1, 2, counting space line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, takes us to the second line, good boys. There we know it's B, an octave lower, so it's a B flat. Now I'm writing the word out in full. They've done so here, they've not used the symbol, they've written the word, so I shall do the same just to be sure. So still in the bass clef here, we know that this is middle C. If you remember, middle C is at the top of the bass, the bottom of the treble. If you just visualize on a piano keyboard, it's as if you've come down from the treble up in the bass and met in the middle. So there is middle C, so we can count upwards: C, D, E, F, G, A. Alternative, let's do the octave: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, takes us to this top line, good boys deserve football always, and therefore we know it's A. So here's middle C at the bottom of the treble, as we've just discussed. So C, B, A, G, F sharp, or we can count the octave: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, takes us to this bottom space, and we know this the space is spelled face, F-A-C-E, so there's an F, and of course it's an F sharp. So here's middle C, C, D, E, or if you counted your octave: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all cows eat, grass eat, E, and then of course it's E flat. Just keep that clear. So then we know that this is an F, every good boy deserves football, F, G, A, B, C, D. Alternatively, count down your octave: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every good boy deserves D. There we go. Let's press on to the next question. So we've got some scale work to do here. Now this is super easy, and if you've worked out your circle of fifths before you even start the paper, you know all of your major and minor key signatures, so you've done all of the work for this already. I always recommend that you do this straight away before you start an exam paper. Much better to do your thinking in a calm and organised fashion, and that way you're not going to be confused, continually having to try and drag up that information to memory. If you're not sure how to do the circle of fifths, you won't need to go this far because this is all of the circle, whereas you just need to go to 4 sharps and 4 flats. But if you're not sure how to do that, have a look at my video tutorial on the circle of fifths, and you'll find a link to that in the cards and in the description, and that takes off so much pressure now when you come to a question such as this. So let's see what we're asked to do. We need to add the correct clef. and we need to add accidentals, not a key signature. So we need to bear in mind what that key signature would be, but then we need to adjust it in terms of accidentals. And this is where it's really important that you do use a pencil, because you will have to do some rubbing out as you work through the stages of this question. So first job is the clef. So it needs to begin and end on C. And for that to be the case, it needs to be bass clef, all cows eat grass. So there's a C. So that needs to be bass clef. Now we know from our circle of fifth and from learning our key signatures that C minor is related to E flat major and has a key signature of 3 flats, B flats, E flats, A flats. So B flats, E flats, A flats, and we'll need to apply those as accidentals. Now we will need to rub some of this out once we start thinking about the harmonic minor form, but I'm going to just put those in anyway. If you take it one step at a time, you're not going to make a mistake by trying to deal with too many things at once. If you're not used to reading this clef, by all means just sketch in the letter names. It depends what instrument you play. So we know it begins on a C. We're counting upwards: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Do whatever it takes to just make this easy for you. So we're going to put a B flat, an E flat and an A flat in place. So that's the basics for our key signature as would be. Now the harmonic minor in the ascending and descending form has the 7th degree raised. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 next to the octave. That's a B flat, and if you look at that, a B flat when raised becomes a natural. So what we're going to do, we're now going to rub that B flat out, just following through a step at a time. You can either leave it like that, or you can add your natural sign to show your thought process, or because you know that that natural sign isn't really required, it's redundant, you can put it in brackets to just show that you know what you're thinking through. Any one of those will do, so long as it's just a normal B at the end of the day. So then, we're not using key signatures again, but we need to put the clef and the accidentals here. So E major, of course, must begin and end on E. And for that to be the case, it needs to be a treble clef. And if you've revised your key signatures or worked out your circle of fifths, you know that E major has 4 sharps, F, C, G, D. And again, if you're not sure about reading the clef, depending which instrument you play, by all means, write it out. But remember, we're now descending, so instead of going backwards, just work from the bottom. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And so now we can add our key signature as accidentals, F sharps. Remember though, your accidental goes before the note. We need to know before we play it, of course. Although you say F sharp, in music it's written sharp F. So F, C, G, D sharps, and that's the major scale, and that's job done. So let's press on to this next question. So now we have some performance directions and musical terms. From 2018 onwards, these are going to be presented to you in multiple choice format. That doesn't necessarily make your job any easier. Remember, this is all of the terms from grades 1, 2 and 3 combined, so there's a good bit of revision to do. To help you get to grips with that, I suggest that you group all of your like terms from each of the grades thematically, so anything to do with slow would be grouped together, or anything to do with fast or linking words or so on. Whatever makes sense to you, even colour code it. And at the back of your PDF document, I've given you a little test. So knock yourself out and have a good crack at that. No peeping, test yourself and then check up afterwards. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. And so I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and now we'll go through this together. So they've shown us how it starts. MP is mezzo piano, which means moderately quiet. So that's what we do. So subito means suddenly. There we go. Marcato means emphatic or accented. Now in my abstract mind, I think that looks like marked, markedly. So that helps me to remember how to define that. So here, scherzando or scherzando, I think it's scherzo. Scherzando is playful and joking. Okay, so there we have this in grade 1. That's your good old staccato term. Now be careful, because staccato means detached. Make sure you don't automatically tick that. Legato does not mean detached. Legato actually means smoothly joined together. Staccato does not mean smoothly. So they've really thrown you off the scent here if you're not careful. Staccato means detached. Make sure you tick the right one, because they are not correct. Cantabile, we first came across that in grade 1 too, and that means grade 1 also. That was a confusing sentence, and that also means in a singing style. So there we go, that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helping you to really become familiar with what's required for the grade 3 exam. These practice papers from previous years are a really valuable resource for your revision. Do lots of practice papers before you take your exam. There's lots online that I've already completed to help you. If it's helping you, can you please give me a like? That would be super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated and share out the videos. And also please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.